Hello folks, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm, where my addictions all over the internet. On this channel do book hauls, book reviews of digital and physical media, audiobooks, and so much more. Alright, so this marks 1 week that I have had my new Nook. So for people that don't know, I bought a new Nook not because the Lenovo was acting up, but because of the fact that I just wanted an e-reader that just read books and listened to audiobooks. And I'm going to say it took me a little bit of time to figure out how to use the book portion of it. There, I got it out. But once I did it, then it was very easy to like listen to it. Now, when my battery is down to like 30% or 20%, and I am not done with my my book that I'm listening to, I will switch over to my Lenovo and finish whatever chapter I'm on. So that's my backup one. So, yeah. All right. So, I've had this for a week, and I'm going to give my insights to it. So, first of all, I rarely ever use the Nook home button. The Nook home button. The only time that I use it is when my Nook goes to sleep, and I'm actually going to change that to where it stays awake longer than like a minute. I filled up this Nook with a lot of free books because I like my free books. They're a great way to be introduced to new authors and see if I like them and all that. So you've got the library, you've got the shop, you got whatever book you're reading, you got search, and you have account. So overall, my impression of this Nook is that it just feels so much better than the ColorSoft. Even though the ColorSoft, like all Kindles, you can easily get back to your home page, compared to the Nook, which is difficult to get back to the home page. But I only care about that when I am like done with a book, or I'm done, like I finished reading a book, or I'm done with a book, or whatever. So one of the other appeals to the Nook was that the price had not changed. So we're all under, we're not all under, it's been paused for 90 days. But when companies, I can't pronounce the name, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but the company that makes Kobos and other companies that make, like, not really popular e-readers, but they're only popular because they're not Amazon, when they found out that they were going to have to spend more on parts to make the product, they raised the prices of their product. So the Kobo, from the lowest end, went up by $10, and the highest end went up by $80. And the thing about Barnes & Noble is that their e-readers did not go up in price at all. And they have a huge surplus of they're went to sleep. So I'm going to press the button, and then we swipe. Yeah. So I want to go to my settings, because this is getting annoying. Let's see here. see here. Reader. No? Wow. This is actually, first time I'm doing this. Here, finally, screen. Okay, 1 hour. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. I had to turn my glow light on so that I could read it. Yeah, so I changed it to where it's be an hour, so I don't have to worry about the screen going blank on me for an hour. But yeah, so if you look at the look how like the difference in size. Now I did read my detective comics because they do allow you to buy comics, but this one was free, and I found that I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to like expand it, but I will tell you guys that you cannot, like, as far as I know of, you cannot expand or do anything. You just kind of have to you know, put up with it. But I could be wrong on that. I really could absolutely be wrong. But I don't really use my Nook to read comics. My Lenovo does it just fine. So I'm not really using this Nook to read comics. I'm using it to read books and listen to audiobooks. So yeah. So another thing that I like about this is that the button, it says on it when you have shut down your Nook that you have to hold and press for 4 seconds. I find that holding it for 5 seconds twice actually turns it on. I don't know why after 4 seconds you still can't turn it on, but it still turns on, and that's all I care about. Yes, I have to hold it twice for 5 seconds, but it still turns on. I haven't had any kind of problems with it once it's turned on and all that. I did last week, I did have to update it. That's an automatic. You don't have to do anything. It automatically updates. The server will automatically update it. Another thing that I like about this is that it is not connected to Goodreads. I know a lot of people have been having, like, not having, but a lot of people have been complaining about Goodreads, that they're owned by Amazon, and it's not a perfect system. It's far from perfect. It's actually not good. I use Goodreads, but when I'm reading a book on my Nook, I just go on Goodreads, record it, and then just say, hey, I'm done with it. So if you are interested in leaving the Amazon ecosystem, but you don't want to pay the additional tariff price between $10 to $80, the Barnes & Noble Nook is a great alternative. They are one of the top tier companies. They almost was smushed by Amazon because Amazon wants to become a monopoly. Though people say they already are a monopoly because they own, I think, 80% of the ebook sales, and also you don't have libraries making deals with like Barnes & Noble because they prefer Amazon over Barnes & Noble. And I'm seeing that a lot in people that switch over from like the Kindle to the Kobo. They don't want to touch Barnes & Noble. They absolutely refuse to even consider a Nook. And I am seeing that in a lot of, I'm going to do a whole video about this because I think this is really important to talk about why we're seeing tons and tons and tons of videos about Kobo instead of like, oh, well, maybe you should go with Barnes & Noble because at least with Barnes & Noble you can walk into the store and buy it, you know. I got the, so this has a 2-year warranty on it already, but I extended it to 4 years. so that I would have more time. Um, Another thing I want to make clear about Nooks, that or why I like Nooks over like Kindles, is they don't try to sell you a book. Like for example, like the thing is, Barnes and Noble is entirely a bookstore. It is not a place to buy lingerie or a place to buy shoes. They just deal entirely in books, which is why if you buy a Nook, especially the Nook Low Light 4 Plus, or any Nook, you're not going to get the annoying advertisements of, hey, newest book, buy, hey, you really want this. I love that. I love the idea of not being inundated with ads, being inundated with, oh, hey, no, we don't, I know we got your credit card on file, but you gotta buy this book. I didn't have to spend any extra money to get ads taken off, which is great. Because all Kindles are giant advertising tablets. They're trying to get you to spend money that you don't have when you've got about 20 books that you haven't read. It's all advertisement. Oh, look at Kindle Unlimited. Look at this. Look at that. The shop one here, right here, the shop. That is the only time that you will see about tons and tons of books is in the shop. And they leave that. I mean, they leave, oh, hey, look at the newest deal on on a book. They leave that for the shop. They don't plaster it all over your Nook. So if you want to be not pressured to buy more books, then definitely the Nook. Now, I know they've got recommended for you. They all do that, but you don't have to buy it. And what you can actually do is just essentially just ignore it. And this is the part that you're more concerned about, not this part. Now, why the inability of the home button to take me back home doesn't bother me is that if I'm reading a book, and the book is not on the top part of it, this is for new and recently recent in my library. So basically, what it is that if I go to my library, and or like I scroll through like this. Okay, it says more on it. Now more will take you to your library. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But when you click more, it takes you to your library, and then you can choose which book that you want to read. And what happens is it will actually appear on the top part of it because you've recently opened it and you've recently read it. Another thing that people like about the new Nook, is that it has the page turn buttons. People have been talking about page turn buttons for so long, and then when I saw this one had page turn buttons, I'm like, okay, cool. Now, if you want to now on your library, now when you hit your library, it's only going to show you your books. It's not going to show you your audiobooks. So there's actually a little menu that allows you to filter out what you're seeing. So, for example, if you just say, oh, I want to listen to an audiobook, so you hit that menu and you will find your audiobook, and immediately the screen will change over to your audiobook. Now, the Lenovo has all of it, has both the books and the audiobooks, but if I just want to read a book and I don't want to listen to an audiobook, then I will just keep it at books and move along. So yeah, so there's no connection to Goodreads. There's no connection to any kind of like annoying advertisement for books. The thing about Barnes and Noble is they know that you're going to either come into their store and buy a book, or they know you're going to go on your Nook and buy a book. They don't need to pressure you into buying a book. If you like the book that you read, at the very end of it, when it says complete, down underneath it, they're going to have the next book in the series. So it automatically tells you what the next book in the series is, and it will tell you how much it is. And if you really liked the book and you have the money for the next book, you go and you hit confirm, and it will say, hey, are you absolutely for certain? It'll say you hit buy now. It'll put a window up saying, hey, do you really want to buy this book? You have either confirm or cancel, and you hit confirm, and it automatically goes to your bank account, sees if you got the money, very lightning quick, and it automatically downloads, and voila, you can now read the second book in the series. And same thing, you get to the end of that book, you have this, it will go on and on and on like that until it hits the final book. And after you've read the final book, there will be no more books, because the author has not published a new book. So yeah. So really digging the Nook. Absolutely loving it. Not all e-readers are 100% perfect, and I totally get that. But I would rather have the Nook than anything else, because I feel like as a e-reader junkie that I am leaving the Amazon ecosystem, and as everyone knows, I do plan to fully leave it, with the exception of library books and my own writing, with every book that I read on my Kindle. Alright, so I am going to shut my Nook down. And another thing I want to also add is the cover is I really love this cover, besides the fact I put stickers on it. But one thing I like about it is that it is very, very durable. I've had this for a week, and I have not had any kind of storage issues, any kind of accessibility issues, none of that. I spent $179 for it, but in reality, I did pay over $200 for it, because I got the insurance and I got the case. And that is the only reason that I spent over $200. I mean, I always get my insurance on my devices, because you never know. Another thing that I want to add to this one is, just like the Kindle Colorsoft, it is oh Lord, I am not redoing this video. It's waterproof. Up to about 3 meters of water. I believe that's what Good e-reader said. But that was another thing that I liked about it. And as also, it's flushed. There's no indentation. And they're following the same thing with the Kindle by having the rounded edges. So that is an industry, I believe that's an industry norm now, is the curved edges and the flush. But yeah, I am so loving my Nook. And I was like, once I had figured out how to listen to my audiobooks, I was in the corner munching on something, just listening to the Red Queen, and I'm like, yeah, I love this. I love this. Absolutely do. But yeah, So, as I said, if you are interested in leaving the Amazon ecosystem, but you don't want to pay the tariffs, I really advise the Nook, because they have a giant surplus of these things. So they're not going to push the tariffs over to you when they have had these in storage for months and months and months. All right. So that is my 1 week review of the Nook. I will come back next week for week 2, and I look forward to seeing you then. I'll see you guys around. Bye.